welcome back to Fantasy of the Geeks. You join us for Warhammer Quest.
Oh, hey!
The Silver Tower.
Ooh.
So we're here, we're having our first game of this. Well, on camera. We've done a little bit of a demo ourselves just to try and get used to the rules. Very straightforward, I have to say.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. I was quite impressed, actually.
Okay, so the Silver Tower, read this first book. That's what I'm going to be reading for starting with. So I'm not going to do the welcome mortals bit or anything like that. But setting up miniatures. Before you set up the game, assemble the miniatures. Done. See our previous video. 2. The rune. Whoever wishes to be the first to enter the Silver Tower becomes the rune mark. We're going to go with the Knight Questor. And in this version, we're going to be playing 2 characters each. So you can see like a 4-player variant of this. One person can play this as long as you've got all these little sheets and stuff. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. So I discussed that in about the video we did about the app and stuff and the restrictions on the app. But as long as you've got the cards, you can play as many characters as you want. So in this one we're going to play 2 each. I'm going to play the Knight Questor and the Fireslayer Doomseeker. I'm
going to play the Dakarath Chieftain and the Excelsior War Priest.
Brilliant. So the rune mark player, we're going to start with the Knight Questor and then it'll pass left. And then that'll go to the Chieftain and then to the War Priest and so on. Unless it comes around. Do you want to do it that way?
Yeah, we can do it that way, that's fine with me.
Yep. Okay, so 3 heroes. Starting with the rune mark player, going clockwise. Each player chooses one of the 6 hero cards and places it in front of them. We've already done that. The War Priest gets the Gryph-hound as well. So you've got a little Gryph-hound card. So we'll get to see him in action, hopefully. And the Fate board, which you can see has been completed. So we have the Fate board here. We have the Renown track. We have 4 of these little Renown things. Each one of these matches the core of the dice that we've picked. So that one is the Knight Questors. And then those 4 of them start there. So the Knight Questors in the creamy coloured dice. Doomseeker's black.
The War Priest is blue and the Chieftain is red.
Yeah, for Corn, because he looks Cornish.
Yeah, Cornish.
So we've got the 5 purple dice, so the Destiny dice, they are sat there next to the Destiny board at the moment. And we also have these 4 white dice, which we're going to be using just to the enemies for rolling dice. We'll probably end up using some of the purple ones or mixing them up as well, because we did that when we were testing. The board itself has the treasure cards in purple, the skill cards in blue, and in the middle goes the Gaunt Summoner. Then we have the treasure, yeah, they're all there. We have the chambers, double-sided cards. So these are the chambers that we saw when we did the unboxing. These are like the dungeon rooms, if you will, and just called chambers in this. The portals are to one side, so they're ready to go. The ingress chamber goes there. That's the ingress. And then we look at the adventure book. So this is where it begins. So I shall read you what it says in the adventure book, because that's where we're up to. I'm a bit ahead of myself. It tells you starting the trial. Read this passage after you've set up the heroes as described in the ingress chamber. This is your first trial. Read the legend begins on the next page, then read passage 89. So legend begins, which is this bit here. I will read this out because I like narrative. The legend begins. In a vast and statue-lined chamber did the champions first come together, whether by dark designs of the Gaunt Summoner or the vagaries of fate and destiny. Each champion descended the winding stairs to face one another across the sigil-etched floor. How each had come to this place and why was an epic tale in itself. Why each had come remained a secret only known to them. Yet it was clear that for now their paths were intertwined. It was then that Gaunt Summoner's visage loomed above the champions in the blaze of unearthly light. In a moving voice, the summoner revealed, should the champions wish his boon, they would have to best his trials. Only in this way might they gather the fragments of the shattered amulet upon which his true name was inscribed. To do this, the Gaunt Summoner promised, and the champions would have whatever they desired. Fail, and they would be his prisoners forevermore. With this, the summoner faded from light, leaving only his echoing laughter and a glowing portal leading into the Silver Tower's labyrinthian depths. So there we go. So, I think in order, we'll just put them on the board because they've all met each other now because we've had the narrative. So first player, second player, third player and fourth player. And I imagine there's 5 squares so you can put the Gryphon on.
Mm-hmm.
So we now need to go back and read passage 89.
Which one of us shouted Bob after he disappeared kind of thing? We know your true name is Bob!
And then the game ended because you'd figured it all out. It's Bob! No, maybe not.
No, maybe not.
He's still disappeared.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like a bit, we've got akin to choose your own adventure bit.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not allowed to read bits. So you read out the little statements one at a time. So this is statement 89. The energies of the portal surged around the champions and propelled them down a twisting tunnel of light. Moments later they stumbled from the portal's exits into a strange new chamber. Regaining their composure, the champions squared their shoulders and steeled themselves against the dangers to come. Their first trial within the Silver Tower had begun. Before you go any further, you must construct the exploration deck as the trial follows. Take the 7 exploration cards marked with a hish icon, which I've actually done. So that simply means that these cards here there's a big deck full of them, and the ones that have got the hish icon on there, if you can see that, even though some of them have got multiples as well, it's the ones with the hish icon at the top, or wherever it happens to be on the card. On these ones it all happens to be at the top. So there we go, that is the first deck of cards that we're going to need. So then basically we set aside the Librarian, and we also set aside the Whirligig Passage. And then we also then take these ones, turn them around, shoot them a shuffle and pick 2 at random. There we go. So these 2 will go there, and then we have the 3 remaining cards that we don't know what they are, and they get shuffled. And they go at the bottom of the pile. And next we take the Librarian, and we take the 2 cards we don't know what are, we shuffle them. And we put them at the top of the pile. And finally we top that with the Whirligig Passage. We know the first dungeon we're going to go in is that anyway. So that goes there. So that's it. So now you can return to the guidebook and begin your first trial. So then the guidebook will basically take you through the actions and stuff you need to do, which we will do for this as well. So I'll just move that back. And we'll move that there. So I'll keep this to one side and have a look through it as we are going. So the first round, rounds and phases, it's put into rounds and phases: the Destiny phase, the Hero phase, Adversary phase, the End phase. When the last phase is over, a new round begins. The Destiny phase is basically, first comes Destiny phase, the rune marked player, which is in this case the Night Quester, takes the Destiny dice and rolls them. Okay, 2, a 6 and a 6. So the first time we roll these, when we're in the Ingress Chamber, nothing happens on a 6 or a 1. If we do that again in the future, that will cause an unexpected event to happen. And then we'll find out what that is. But for this one, nothing happens. We also have nothing happening for them, because that might summon a familiar in given circumstances. And you get rid of any duplicates. So we get rid of the 2 3s because they're duplicates, we get rid of the 2 6s because they're duplicates, which all leaves with 1 Destiny dice, which is a 2, which is rubbish. So that goes onto the blue squares at the back, and it can be used by any of the players later on. It might come in handy, probably won't, because it's only a 2.
That's not good.
It's only the start though, so it's not the end of the world.
He says.
He says. In fact, I could use that to explore if I wanted. So then it goes into the Hero phase, and you start with the rune mark player, and it goes left. So it'll go that way.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So the hero's turn, the first thing you do on your turn is make your action roll. Your action roll is basically you take your 4 dice, or however many dice you've got spaces for here, because as you take wounds you'll lose dice. So you'll see that later hopefully. Well, not hopefully. So you roll your 4 dice, and a slightly better roll. We've got 4 and a 5, and a 2 and a 3. So, the 3 actions any hero can do in a turn is explore for a 1+, move for a 1+, or recuperate for a 1+. We'll get to recuperate later, but explore and move, basically you get rid of a dice which is a 1 or more, which will be any of your dice, and you take that action. So we're going to explore first, and I'm going to use my 2 to explore. Now we know what the card's going to be. It's going to be the Whirligig Passage. So we take the Whirligig Passage. There we go, thanks for locating that. The prepared mind and everything.
I'll move these back then.
So that goes on there. We'll move our cards back now, just out of the dungeon. And we've used that dice. And then we need to follow the instructions on the card. The floor moved constantly in this place, clicking, whirring as it interlocked and spun apart with an ever-changing configuration of crescent tiles, seamlessly meshing cogworks. So we also need to put a portal on here. So we'll show you how portals work probably during the game. You can basically jump through them into the portals. And then roll on the encounter table B. So I'm going to pass the encounter tables over to Claire.
Okay.
And as the rune mark player, I will roll. So 1.
So we have 1 Carrick Acolyte per player.
Yep.
And 1 Pink Horror.
Nice. So we're going to select the different acolytes. And basic rules are you pick one of each type. And then obviously if you run out of different types, you can choose whatever you want. Or you choose whatever you want as the runic player. As there's four of us and there's 4 different types, we need the 4 different types of acolytes. Obviously if you had a 2 player, then the runic player would choose which 2 of the different types. We're going to go on, but you can't have duplicates, so you can have 2 with shield. So I'm going to put one back at the back, because we've kind of just walked in. Put the leader there, the DPS guy there next to the tank, and then this guy is kind of like glaive, long range makes sense. We also get a pink horror, so I'm going to move him forward then. No, wait a minute. It's kind of like he summoned it in, so there we go. So the pink horror, that's not good.
Not good.
That's a pretty bad start. I did roll 1, it's my fault. So next up, the Knight Questor is going to move in. So to move, I said it's a 1+ action, so I need to get rid of a dice which has got a 1 or more on it. Get rid of the 3. And we'll move in. So I can move up to my move distance, which in this case is 3. So 1, 2 and 3, which puts us in heart of trouble. And then we can make any actions we want with the dice we've got left. So I've got a Warblade, which is a 1+, and I've got the Thunderstrike Charge. Sorry, Thunder Charge Strike, even. 2 completely different things. I think I prefer the Charge. But there we go. 1+ for a Warblade, 6+ for the Thunder Charge Strike. I also have these abilities down here, which are Guard Stance and Challenge, which is basically tank and taunt, for want of a better description. So as I've run into danger, I might want to tank myself a bit later on. But for now I'm going to use a Warblade and I'm going to attack the Pink Horror. So that's a 6, so I've definitely hit. I needed a 3+, and that does 2 damage. So then we take our little damage counters, and we put 2 damage counters next to the Pink Horror. Now the Pink Horror has a Vigour, which is its wounds of 4. So if it takes 2 more wounds, it will die, split into 2 blue horrors.
Yes.
So I am going to go ahead and steal the only dice we've got to make another attack. And we want a 3 up. It's a 4, so he takes 2 more wounds, which splits him in 2. There we go. So then we'll deploy 2 blue horrors where we can, and I get a renown point for my Knight Quester. Now as you kill things, most things, some things don't get renown, but this does, you go around the renown board here, and you move your little colour counter around. And then when you get back to the 0 point at the top, you're able to choose 2 random skills from the skills deck.
Cool.
Okay, so that's just got 1 renown. I've got 1 dice left, so I'm going to go into Guard Stance with I need a 3+. That increases my save from a 4 to a 3.
Cool.
Because I'm pretty much surrounded by bad guys. So next up, the next player to the left is... So next up, the Fire Slayer Doomseeker. So now he rolls his dice. So 3 3s and a 6. Which is alright. I could have done with some more 5+. There we go. The little Fire Slayer's got this little rune here, which only comes into play once he's killed somebody, so I'll explain that hopefully in a minute. So his first action he's going to move. So he's going to 1, 2 and move to there. And he's then going to use his runic war iron to attack this blue horror. So it's 2 up to hit and he does 1 damage. So he's hit, that does 1 damage. There we go. Okay, so now we need to attack again. So we're going to do the same thing again. 2 up, so 5, we'll take that, which kills the blue horror, netting him a renown, and is replaced by a brimstone horror. Which is that. So he's a black dice. Now, a brimstone horror is one of the enemies that doesn't give you any renown. So I'm actually going to attack using my 6, using my Doomseer axe against the other blue horror. Then you're 3 up for this. Misses. It's unfortunate. And that is his turn. So you didn't kill anyone with a Vigour 3 or better. If he'd done that, which wasn't these guys, but if you kill someone with a Vigour 3 or better, he basically gets this rune onto his card, which gives him +1 damage to any of his attacks, which then turns him into a proper killing machine.
Yeah.
Proper DPS killing machine. Right, so over to you. So the next player round
will be the War Priest.
War Priest.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll the dice.
For the War Priest.
Oops,
So we've got a 1, 2, 6 and a 5. So both ends of the scale there. Again, you can use the 1 to move, so that's not.
Yeah, so I'll use the 1 to move into combat. So that's 1, 2.
You can move there and stand next
Yeah,
to
and
the
then
door.
at least it gives him a bit more chance.
Because you also got your hand you can charge him with.
Yeah, that's if I decide to move him. So I could use Light of Sigmar, which is a 6+.
Yep.
So I'm going to use that.
And what do you need to use it?
2+. So yeah.
So everything in the room now takes 1 damage.
Yes.
That's bad, basically. All enemies. That kills the brimstone horror, but doesn't net you any renown, unfortunately. It damages him, so we'll move that to there. And it damages all the others as well. So they all take 1 damage. There we go. Let's put that next to him.
So that's that done. So I can actually use a 2 for command, +2. So pick one of your actions from the Gryph-hound's behaviour table and make it immediately.
Yeah.
You can only make this action once per turn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go for Hunt, which is move the Gryph-hound and then attack an adjacent enemy with it.
Yeah.
So he can move 5. So
1, 2, 3.
And he's going to attack. So I'll use these 2 dice for now. And yeah, so for each dice that scores 4 or more, that adversary suffers a wound.
So he takes 2 wounds, so he's dead.
Right,
again.
so the War Priest will get renown for that.
Yep.
Because it says here, if the Gryph-hound slays an adversary, the War Priest gains a point of renown.
Okay.
And that leaves me with a 5, which I can't really. You see, my Warhammer, I've got to be in combat range. I'm not in combat range.
So you could use this 5 to command the Gryph-hound to attack again, can you?
No, you can only make this action once per turn.
Only once per turn?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I think that's it. That's all I can do with Priest, really. So that's Priest done.
Yep.
Yep. So next is the Champ.
Yep.
Chaos Champ.
The Dakora Chieftain, to be precise.
The whatty?
Yeah.
So I've got 2 3s, a 4 and a 6.
Yep. Unfortunately, we're in a cramped condition here, aren't we? And the Gryph-hound's just run in and sort of blocked him.
Yeah.
So
he can move in and stand there. I suppose.
so you could use one of your dice to move 3,
Yeah.
or 2 in this case, which gets you off the starter block.
Which that's it.
But he has no ranged weapons, does he? So
no, he doesn't.
now in this you can move through friendly units, but you cannot stay in the same space as one. You can't move through enemies, so that's pretty much it. It's
Yeah.
going to stand there. So there we go. That is the first set of heroes turn. Now we move on to the adversaries. So the adversaries are split up into groups. Basically we've got acolytes and horrors, and they all act together. So the ruined player rolls a dice. So we'll actually start with the horror because there's only one left and it's the brimstone. So we shall roll. I'll just pick up a purple dice, doesn't matter. And then we have a look at the behaviour table on there. So 5 is vicious capering. Each horror in the group moves towards the nearest hero. Each horror in the group then attacks the nearest hero with either blue fire or its flickering blade, whichever is in range. So they also have 3 sets of stats depending on where they are. The brimstone obviously is the least powerful version of it. So he's going to attack obviously the Stormcast because he's technically the nearest. And he's going to use blue fire, which is 1 dice. He's a 5 to hit, but we'll do 2 damage. Has done a 6. So the Knight Questor now needs to take a save. And he's got his dice on that I used before, which is still on there, which increases his save to 3+. So I need to roll dice. If I roll 3+, I'm fine. If I roll 6, I'll actually get some renown. 4, so I'm fine. It's because his special ability is if you roll any saves of a 6, you get a renown. And just to let you know, the Fire Slayer's one is if he takes 2 or more wounds in the same phase, he gains 2 renown.
The Chieftain is if you inflict 8 or more wounds in a turn, gain 1 renown.
Which is difficult.
And the War Priest, if Sigmar's Boon heals 2 wounds in a turn, gain 1 renown.
Yep. So if you've used it twice, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the Acolytes will go. So we'll roll on their table. They have a 3. And that means they are Slay the Unbelievers. Each Acolyte attacks the nearest hero with whatever weapon is in range. Then each Acolyte that did not attack moves towards that nearest hero. Unfortunately for my Knight Quester, he is the nearest hero to all 4 of them. So this is going to be nasty. So basically what that means is they cannot move because there's too many things in the way. So they're always going to make their attack from where they are. So the one with the shield and weapon will attack in close combat, as will the 2 weapons. Whereas these 2 are going to be left to use their sorceress bolts. And unfortunately the guy at the back is also an adept, so his sorceress bolts do more damage. So it's a really good thing that I put guard stance on.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be able to deflect all these blows. Fingers crossed. So starting with the guys in close combat, and we'll start with the one who is got the shield. He gets 2 dice for a cursed blade. And 4 pluses to hit. Each one will do 1 damage. So he's missed with 1 and hit with 1, which means the quest needs to take a save, which he fails. So he takes a wound. Oh dear. And then next up is this guy who's got 2 sets of weapons, or 2 cursed blades, so he actually rolls 4 dice. So he's hit with only 2 of them. So if we take 2 saves, I'll use the same dice. Oh, I'll throw one of them away. That one's saved with a 6.
That one was...
I'll re-roll that one.
Yeah.
That one's not saved, so that's another damage. But I do get a renown for that, so if you can move my renown marker across.
Yeah, you're...
And I take another damage. So now I've got to survive 2 sorceress bolts as well. So the first one from the Acolyte with the glaive, which is a normal sorceress bolt. However, with these, if you roll 6, if the attack roll from sorceress bolt is a 6, it deals twice as much damage. So 3's to hit. Sorry, it's 1 dice. I will re-roll that. There we go. What are you laughing at? I rolled 2 dice by mistake.
Okay.
I was looking at the next one. So that one misses. But the Acolyte, the Cadet, because I did state which one was firing, he's going to roll 2 dice. So he hits with 1. So I need to take 1 save, which passes. So there we go. So I took 2 damage out of that lot, which considering how bad it could have been.
It could have been worse.
Especially if that 6 had stood.
Yes.
But you know, re-roll if you roll the wrong amount of dice. Can't just choose.
No.
Especially when you've got a 6 and a 1. Been 2 4s, and yeah. Right. So that is the end of that phase. So the rune map player passes that to the left. Which will go to the Fire Slayer as the starting player. That needs to come off there because it's the end of the turn. There's nothing else that ends, is there? At this stage.
No, that's it.
Right.
You need to re-roll Destiny dice.
There's no chambers that vanish at this point. So now the Fire Slayer player, which is still me, will roll the Destiny dice. There we go. 6, 5, 2, 2 2s then, and a 1. So we've got a 6, 5 and a 1 to play with. And just check what it says for double 2s, because that's one of the familiar triggers. If any 2 is discarded, then the hero has 2 more treasure cards. So no one has any treasure cards, so nothing happens. Right. So the Fire Slayer's up. So we'll roll his dice. That's a good roll.
So what have we got? 3 5s and a 4?
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, so is there a 1 there as well? Right, I'm going to use the 4 to use the Runic War Iron and hit the Brimstone. Okay, which is a 5, so he's hit, caused 1 damage and killed that. And then I'm going to steal a Runic dice.
Okay.
This Destiny dice, sorry. So when you take a Destiny dice, you can take any one you want, but it locks the highest dice remaining into there. So that means you can't just keep taking dice forever, and it leaves some dice for the next players, if you will. So I took the lowest dice anyway, because all I want to do is move, which is a 1+ to there. And you can move diagonally, so that's fine. You can move in all 8 directions basically, that's how things are measured. So now he's stood next to the Acolytes, which is great, that's where I want him to be. So if I can kill one of these, I can activate my rune. So using the Doomseeker Axe, which is a 5+ to hit. Oh, it needed a 3 to hit, so I've missed. Try again, 3 to hit. That's really bad. And the last 5 is a 1, so I've done nothing. I've also blocked you from doing anything as well. I was expecting that to be a lot better.
Yeah, okay. So I'll roll for War Priest.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't do anything with that, unfortunately.
So you can't heal me, bugger.
Yes, I can heal you with my 3.
Yep.
I can heal. Actually, I could heal you twice with my 3 and 5.
That'd be useful,
Which
because
is
the Night Quest has got 2 wounds.
Yeah, which is really all I can do,
And
unfortunately.
that'll generate you a renown as well.
Yes, it
You'll
will.
heal twice.
True.
So do you need to roll for that?
I do. I do need to roll, so I'll roll. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's just go with those 2 wounds.
Oh, no, I don't really know for that.
Yes, you do.
As for the other 2, they're pointless because I can't get in and... Although I could move, couldn't I? Actually, I use the 2
Yeah.
and move him just
4.
behind. And that's it. Dakarath Chieftain, not worth rolling for because I'm blocked.
So he's going to do nothing basically.
He's going to pass, basically. He's
Now,
just going to wait.
One thing you can do is you can wait, actually, in the rules. So it's not going to benefit us in this situation, but you can wait for another player to take their turn and then take your turn afterwards.
Right.
Something worth noting. Because now it comes back around to the next quest or anyway. The chieftain is just in a bad position, really.
Yeah.
This has happened the other time. It's because it's the starting room.
It's like a corridor.
Saying that though, the two test games we played, where we just did a couple of rooms, we cleared the first room straight away. Nearly.
We did. Yeah.
This has been the worst one.
It's been a bit of a.
So, the night quest stuff. I said it'd be more boring.
Well, yeah, we just made mincemeat out of everything.
5, 4, and 3. Okay, so let's make mincemeat out of everything. Gonna use the 3 to attack with my Warblade. That 6 is back there as well.
Ah.
I'll make use of that as well. So 1, so I have missed with the Warblade. That's fine. We'll do Warblade again. I'm going to attack the guy with the shield. So we know 5. So that's hit, which does 2 damage to him. This guy's got 4 vigour, not 3. All these guys have got 3 wounds, apart from him because he's got a shield. It gives him +1 wound. So he's not dead yet, unfortunately. But let's see what we can do about that. So we're going to use that one, which is a 4, which is hit, and causes 2 more wounds to him, which kills him.
Yay!
So I'll have a renown for that, please. Take them out of the way. And then going to use the 5 to attack this guy next to the portal. So he does another hit, so he does 2 wounds to him, which actually kills him as well, because he's already got 1 wound.
So another renown.
Yep.
Yeah, you're moving up the scale here.
I didn't get much with the Night Quest the last time, he's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And I'm not out of range to do anything. I am going to steal the 5 though off there and put it onto my guard stance so I'll use one of my own dice, but just so I can resist whatever damage is incoming.
Mm.
I'm sure there's going to be some coming in now.
Yes.
So the Fire Slayer, who's the rune map player, will then roll for the groups, because we're on to the adversary's turn, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we've got 2 acolytes left, and they 6 fall back. Well, there's nowhere to fall back to. So if there are twice as many heroes on the board as acolytes, which there are, each acolyte moves towards the nearest portal. An acolyte that ends its move on a portal flees as it's removed from play. Each acolyte that's still on the board then attacks the nearest hero. So they're both going to leave because he's got a movement of 3. So he's going to go 1, 2, bye. 1, 2, bye.
Oh right.
Did run off.
They run off. Yeah.
Cowards.
That's what those portals are for then, and other things as well.
They run off. Cowards. Let's put them down. Complete cowards. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's fine.
That makes it easy for
So
us.
that badly we were doing.
I think we would have got to them eventually.
Yeah. Okay, so that is the end of that. That goes to the warrior priest.
Mm-hmm.
It's a war priest, isn't it?
War priest.
Keep calling him warrior
I know,
priest.
it's because
war
it's
priests.
war priest.
So it's his turn first. So
Right. So I get to roll all these dice now.
so we've got
Lots of different dice.
no duplicates.
No duplicates
That's
at all.
That's a fantastic roll.
So you've got a 6.
That's what I call a scathing of a roll.
A 4.
Yep.
A 3.
Yep.
A 2.
And a 1.
And a 1. There we go.
Cool.
Righty-ho. So, War Priest. Roll for the War Priest, see what happens. We've got a 4,
Yep.
a 3, a 2 and a 1.
Yep.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yep, in order.
Sure there's a chocolate bar somewhere there.
That's fine. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, we need to move through, I think, don't we?
Yeah, so the doorway's the
if I
portal.
use the 1
to move.
3,
1, 2, 3.
and then use the 2 to explore.
A 1 up to explore. So now we take the top card, which is the way divides.
Oh dear, that's
So
not what we wanted.
So the ways dividing, so we'll have to push them back. So the way divides. So with every step forward, the glittering mists thicken, heavy with half-glimpsed shapes and the shattered remains of memories. So we need to pull that down. This is the way divides corridor, which I did take out some words. So, really say which way we have to go. We shall do it like that. And then a portal goes on there. And then what you do when you get to the division, you take the cards there and from the bottom, it doesn't really matter which way you do it, you deal card, 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 card. Which may mean that one of the ones we have to get get a special ability is in the wrong place now.
Yeah.
And we need to get to the end room. So now we need to roll on encounter table A. So there is the card. Any heroes that have arcane can take a special scry action. None of our heroes have arcane. I think that's the Mistweaver who has that.
So, encounter table A. 2
Yep.
dice, 1 dice.
1 dice.
1 dice.
6. What have we got?
It's actually got 2d6 encounter up here on encounter table A.
Oh, is it? Oh, so sorry. That's the D6 one. Yeah, roll another one.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
7.
1 Carrick Acolyte per player and D3 blue horrors, so roll a dice.
2.
2. 1 blue horror. So almost like the first one, but with it, a blue sort of a. So we need 1 each again, and they go near the middle. That's where you sort of start to deploy them. The rune map player would normally deploy them, so it would be Claire in this case.
You're just helping me out.
It's helping you. Yeah.
Oh, you've already got one of those guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
right.
don't need another one. See the blue horror.
Yeah.
There we go. That'll do. Okay.
Yeah.
Are we good with that?
We're good with that?
Is that where you would deploy them?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Right.
So, just a pointer about these portals is in the book it says that you can see through them.
Yeah.
And they can see through them. So it's a case of you
It's
travel between them, basically.
It is literally like the game portal.
It is.
Where you make your portal gun and you can see through it and you create like an infinity thing.
Yeah.
But as there is multiple portals, you can see through them all at the same time, which is a bit weird.
But it makes sense with it being Tzinch.
Tzinch.
So yeah, so you can get there quicker, kind of thing.
Making the impossible
possible. Yeah.
That's his logo. It's got a little billboard outside the Silver Tower with him going, yay!
Yeah.
Right, sorry. So the War Priest.
The War Priest.
You've got 2
I've
actions
got
left.
2 actions left.
Yeah. What is your kill everything in the room action? Is that a 6 you need?
Yeah, I need a 6 for that. But I've got a Warhammer, which I could, if I could get up to.
So 1, 2, yeah,
3,
you get up to
and then
Glaive Guy.
Bop one of them, or at least damage them if
Or
I
you
can.
go 1, 2, 3 and stand there. That might be better.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're not
So I
blocking
use
them.
my 3.
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3.
And then I'll use my 4 to
Bop with the Warhammer.
With the Warhammer. 5. I need a 3 plus to hit.
Was that 1 wound or?
Yes, 1 wound. Sorry.
1 wound.
Yeah. Shame I couldn't have used my Sigmar's boon because.
Then you could.
It basically heals.
Okay, but at least the
I've got
chieftain
Griffhound.
can actually do something this turn.
I've got Griffhound.
Got Griffin. Has he not gone?
He's not gone because I didn't use a command.
Right.
Roll.
So if you don't use a command roll, you have to roll for him
You
randomly.
have to roll
see what
for
he
him
does.
randomly to see what he does.
Yeah.
So I've got a 5, which is good because he can then move the Griffhound and then attack an adjacent enemy with it. So he moves 5.
1, 2. Jump through the portal.
Yeah, okay.
And then 3, 4.
Yeah.
So if you stand there.
And then he can attack an enemy. So 2 dice. Need 4s. Got 1. So that's another wound.
So he's wounded him again.
Yeah.
Snapping at his heels.
Snap, 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 snap.
So now it's the chieftain.
Chieftain. So I've got a 5.
That's a lot of ones.
2 and 2 1s. Yeah.
So
I say I move in if I can.
So you go 1, 2, 3.
And then move again. Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Move again.
Just put you there. Or if you just jump through the portal, it'll be 1. You can't move through an enemy though.
No.
That's the problem. So you're going to be stuck there. Either way.
Yeah.
But hopefully you can do some damage.
Well, if I use War Axe,
Yep.
which is 1 plus, so I've got a 2 here.
When you're hitting the horror, you have to re-roll that. It's king. Horror or the acolyte that's been wounded, or the other acolyte which hasn't.
Which one do you reckon's going to be best? The one that's been wounded, if I can
Try
get
and kill
him,
him.
because then you can get in then, can't you?
Try and kill him.
So, that's a 3. 2 plus, 1 damage.
1 damage.
Mhm.
So that's 3 damage he's took. The guy's only got 3 damage, so he is dead.
So.
Which is a renown for your
Killing him.
chieftain.
So does that trigger off death blow?
Does
Once
indeed.
per turn you slay an adversary, you can pick another adversary, attack it with the same weapon.
So you can either attack him or the horror.
Attack the horror?
Yep.
6.
Tell me, is that 1 damage?
1 damage, yeah.
Yep. So he's got 1 wound left.
So then if I use my 5 and use broadsword.
Yep.
Which is a 4 plus, we've got 5. And then 3 plus to hit. Yeah.
Definitely hit. So
D3 damage.
he's only got 1 wound left anyway, so
right.
whatever you roll will kill him.
Okay.
And he's replaced by a
And
brimstone.
that allows me to carry on.
Yep, so you can attack the brimstone or you can attack him.
Attack him.
Attack him. It's 4.
So,
Which
yeah,
does
D3 damage.
If you roll a 5 or a 6, you've killed him.
I rolled a 1.
Just does 1 damage.
So that's him done.
Yep. Okay. So it now moves on to the night quest stuff.
Yeah.
At least you've made me a space.
I didn't think I could have used some of those dice.
We haven't used any of them yet.
No.
Have we? Right, you've left them for me.
Yeah, I'll let you use them.
Let's not. You can pick one to use, go on. Because we haven't ended your turn yet, let's just say. Go for it.
Which one shall I use? Because broadsword is 4.
Use a 4.
Use the 4.
Which locks a 6.
Oh, what was that? Was that a 3?
It's 5.
No, it was a 3.
Is it 3?
Yeah. Right. That's 3 plus 5.
Yep.
Yeah. D3 damage.
1.
2.
Well done.
Oh well.
Use another dice. Use a 3.
No, it's alright, I'll let
I do, use it.
No, because I've only got war axe left.
You only do 1 damage to him though.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. Which locks the 2s for you.
1. Didn't do it.
Oh well. What is it to use
The war
axe?
The war axe is plus 1.
One.
So shall I use that one?
Use the 1. 4.
4.
You killed him?
War axe, yeah.
Yep. So that's another renown for you.
And do it. Still trigger death blow.
Do you? Once per...
Oh, it's only once per turn, isn't it? Once
Yeah.
per turn after you slay, yeah.
Okay, so... my turn. 5, 5, and a 4, and a 4. And those 2 are not locked anymore. So we are going to move. We need a 4. So we're going to go 1, 2 into the portal, 3 brings me to there. And then we're going to attack with the Thunder Charge, the Warblade against the guy with the shield, which is a miss. So we'll see what I can do again. Miss. This is 3, so I've hit. So he does do 2 damage. That's pretty poor.
Why don't you use one of those? Unless you're saving it for the fire slay to use.
I'll use the 2 and see if we can do some more damage. 3. Yeah, so 2 more damage to the guy with the shield. Which killed him, actually. Because he's only got 4. So
that's more renown for you.
Cool.
Does that lock down the 6 then?
Yeah, but I've finished my turn, so it's unlocked again.
Alright, okay.
So I'll leave us with the Slayer. Sorry, Slayer. Yeah, he's a Slayer.
He's a Slayer.
And he's a Seeker. 3 5s again. And a 2. 2's to move. So 1, 2, 3. Because you can move 3 friends, so there we go. Right, so we're going to attack the Acolyte guy, Adept. We're going to use the Doomseeker axe. 3 up to hit. It has hit this time. Does D3 wounds, which is 2. And then we want to go again. Another one. Misses. Go again with another one. Misses. We'll use the Destiny dice. Hits. And he's only got one left anyway, but it does 2, so it kills him.
Does that mean you get your rune?
Yeah, so the rune's activated. Just in time to kill nothing else. So the rune's been activated. He gets a rename point. And we are, let's put a nice together now, all used. We're into the adversary's phase, where there is one adversary. The poor little brimstone horror.
Oh.
Okay, so
all his mates have gone.
if the war priest would like to roll to see what he does.
Okay. 1.
1 is bolts of azure flame. Each horror in the group attempts to move so it is not adjacent to any heroes, but can see at least one of them. Each horror in the group then attacks the nearest hero they can see with blue fire. So it needs to move first, so it's not adjacent.
So do you want me to roll?
So it needs to roll a dice for its agility. Its agility is 1, so it's going to obviously
4.
be able to move out of the way, and move out of the way again without even to be able to, because you can't.
You can't. It
roll
says
less
it.
than a 1. And then he's going to use blue fire. So that is a 5+, it does 2 damage, and it's aimed at the Doomseeker. So it's missed. There we go. So the rune passes to the chieftain, who is going to go first this time.
Okay. So I will roll
The Destiny dice.
the dice of destiny.
We have 2 6s. Now we have an unexpected event. So roll. When you go an unexpected event, it's either 2 1s or 2 6s. You roll 1 dice, followed by the other dice, one at a time. So that's 10, so that's 52. And then you look up 52 in the adventure book. And you read it out.
So, in that moment, the air resounded with a cacophony of demonic voices,
Sounds
gleeful shrieks, jabbering riddles, curses uttered backwards, and threats that dripped like slime from the air echoed around the champions in a maddening din. The fires of change leapt high, then guttered out to leave capering horrors in their wake. Each player rolls a dice. If they roll a 1 or a 2, their hero is set ablaze by demonic wildfire and suffers a wound. Then set up a pink horror at the nearest portal. If there are at least 3 players, also set up 2 blue horrors at the same portal.
I'm going to roll coloured dice, because each one here has got a... That's what we're wanting.
Each player rolls a dice. If they roll a 1 or a 2.
They're set on fire.
Yeah, so
the war priest has
been set on fire, which is apt actually, really.
So what happens to him?
He just suffers a wound. Yeah.
And then we have a pink horror appearing at the nearest portal.
Yeah, and if there's 3 or more players, then you get 2 blue horrors.
Blue horror and another blue horror. Horrors are all over the place.
Horrors abound.
Horrors everywhere. Good work, Chaos Guy. Right. And it's roll for your actions.
roll for my auctions.
Your auctions.
The auctions.
For your auctioning. It's a lot of 5s.
Yeah. And a 4. Right, so that's a lot of broadsword attacks I've got there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start broadswording attacking, I think.
They're all adjacent. It doesn't say anything about being blocked by corners in the rulebook. So the pink is adjacent and ours is the blue.
So we'll go for this 4 first of all.
Yep.
So broadsword.
Who are you hitting? Who are you hitting?
Hit this guy, shall I?
Who's hitting? Blue one? This one?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. So 3 plus. Yeah.
Boom.
D3.
Boom. So he's deaded.
Splat.
So that's a rename point for you. And we have 1 brimstone horror. 2 little ones on the base, shall I say.
So how many wounds does he have?
2.
Right. I need to inflict 8 or more.
So put him next to your card and then we can remember it's 2.
Right. try
you can carry on with that attack.
Yeah.
So I'd swing around and
start hitting him.
I remember the old Warhammer class, you used to be able to
roll that again.
King dice. You used to be able to accidentally hit your own guys.
So I've got a 3. So yeah, I need a 3 plus.
So you do how many wounds?
1.
1 wound.
So
He's got 4.
that's it.
So that's your first attack.
So that's my first attack done.
And you use death blow, so you can't use that again.
Can't use it again.
But
so I use broadsword again.
On him.
On him. So 3 plus.
It's 1 wound.
Broadsword again.
Yep.
So hit.
Go on. It's 2 wounds. Just killed him. So you've done 4 wounds there. So that's 6 in total you've done so far. And that replaces him with 2 blue horrors.
There's another one there. So if I hit this new blue horror,
if you can kill him, yep.
So
you do 2 wounds. Yes. So you've done a total of 8 wounds, which means you'll get a renown point for that.
So how many renown points do I get there? Just 1?
Whatever it says on your card.
So it just says 1?
Yeah. Obviously 8 is the number of corn,
yeah.
So that's probably why.
Cool.
That was very good, well done.
Thank you.
So next up is Knight Questor. So a lot of 2s, but then again his Warblades are 1 plus, so it's basically 1 or a 6 with him, and everything else is defensive. So we're not really in a bad situation anyway. I'm going to attack the Brimstone Horror. 3 up to hit, so it's hit, that kills that. No renown for that one, unfortunately. I'm going to move to there, and then I'm going to attack 3 up to hit, which kills him, so that is a renown. Replace him with the Brimstone Horror. So I need a renown for that. And then we've got a last attack, which I'm just going to attack with. So it hits him and just removes him.
You need to put him on.
Fire Slayer is next. He's still riding high on the crest of a wave from before, so you want to move him for 1, 2 and 3. And then he's going to use his Doomseeker Axe, 3 plus to hit, 4. It does D3 wounds plus 1 for his rune, that's 4 wounds, so it annihilates him, giving him a point. And then he's got 2 actions left, so he's going to use his Runic War Axe on that one, which splats it. And I'm just going to use my Runic War Axe again because I only need 2 plus to hit, and I only need to cause 1 wound, so it's 2 plus to hit. Good thing I did then, or I'd have missed. So that's his turn. So we're up to the War Priest.
War Priest. So, War Priest. Oh, I've got 6. I shouldn't have rolled all those dice. I'll get rid of the 6. I'll forfeit the 6 because I shouldn't have rolled all those dice.
Are you wounded?
Yeah. So it's only fair I get rid of the top one.
Oh.
So I think I'm going to use a 3.
You're going to heal yourself.
I could use that 3 over there, couldn't I?
We haven't used any of those dice again.
I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the 3 to heal myself.
Yeah.
So,
Is that automatic? Yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah, it just says 3 plus. So, anyone else need healing? No.
We're good.
Right. So I forgot.
You can either move and
I
attack,
can move and attack, can't I? And get
or
rid
you
of
can
that.
send your Warhound into attack.
Ooh, good idea. Send me war round in to attack.
So he moves and attacks, does he? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Nothing.
Oh. You've still got a 4 there you can use as well, by the way. So
Yeah.
you can now move yourself if you wanted.
Yeah, with the 4, with the 3. With the 3 I'll move. Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
And with the 5 I'll try and
Just squish it.
squish it with my Warhammer. So I need 3 to hit. Yeah.
Squished.
Squished.
So all the enemy's gone.
And that's that done. That's my turn done.
Yeah. Okay. So the token passes to, because there's no bad guys, so the token passes to the next question. I need to roll Destiny dice. We have 2 1s, unfortunately. And the other 3 dice are usable. So let's see what happens.
2 1s?
It means 64.
64.
See what that is. Treasure, please.
By the flickering light of writhing, moaning candles, the champion's visions blurred. Both before them and behind, the path appeared to double, then double again, unfolding into a kaleidoscope of profusion, before settling once more into strangely familiar shapes.
Nice.
Many exploration cards have been discarded. Take 2 of them at random without looking at them. Shuffle these cards into the exploration deck that is nearest to the room marked player's hero.
They haven't been discarded because the rooms are still there.
Right. So nothing happens then.
No.
We just look like we've gone on a trip.
We just had some free art listing, basically.
I told you not to eat those mushrooms.
I just saw them growing there. I just thought I'll eat them. Right.
I'm not eating mushrooms again. This is why I don't eat mushrooms.
Okay, so we go this way.
Okay.
Let's see what's this way first.
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Sorry, get rid of that card. I'm going to use that one to explore, and we have searing beams already.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
Blimey.
We got to the end chamber already.
So, does this disappear yet? When did they disappear? I can't remember.
Basically, this chamber appears and becomes the primary chamber. Which goes there. And then the chamber next to that stays, and any chambers adjacent to that stay, but any other chambers on the board vanish. So the ingress chamber goes poof. We said that together. We've got 2 portals here. We also have these little prisms.
I'm probably best explaining what these do,
which are
won't
fun.
we?
Well,
yeah.
explain as we go along.
This is where it gets like Zelda.
So, read page 81.
81.
81.
Okay, found it. Page 81. Stepping through a shimmering blue haze, the champions emerge in a profane temple to Tzinch. In that place of worship, they beheld a great statue of a demon lord, whose avian gaze bespoke knowledge of dark and terrible secrets. At the statue's feet, the champions saw 2 great crystal prisms, each mounted upon an intricate clockwork dais. From these prisms spilled searing light. Each beam leapt out like a searing river of power to scorch the walls black. Here it seemed was a puzzle of sorts. Set up the 2 prism markers shown on the exploration card. Each prism projects a beam that extends outwards until it hits an obstacle or the chamber's edge. To begin with, each beam is projected at the closest edge of the chamber. Their effects are detailed on the exploration card. A hero with the exploration card titled the Librarian can make this action. Chant 3+. Until the end of the hero phase, the beams are deactivated and have no effect.
Okay, there are 3 spaces on here. There's the statue and there's the 2 prisms. They've got black borders around them. On the card itself they're red, just to show you can't move through them in no line of sight. So now we need to roll on the encounter table B twice.
Right, so that's D6.
Yeah. So you roll 2 dice.
2 dice. You want to
But
roll
they're
them?
individual. Oh, I'm the room mark player, aren't
Yeah.
I? A 6 and a 1.
So we get 1 Carrick Acolyte per player.
Yep.
And a 1 is 1 Acolyte.
Can I have that in English?
Carnick.
Yeah, go on.
Well, 1 Carrick Acolyte per player and 1 Pink Horror.
So
That's the 1.
it's 8 in total.
8 in total, yeah.
And then a pink
And a
horror.
Pink Horror.
Nice!
Great. Can I go home then?
Okay, do you want to explain, while I set these up, the searing beams?
Right, where are we? Right, so if a miniature touches a beam, it suffers D3 wounds. Adversaries will avoid this if possible. Heroes can make this action. Rotate 4+. You need a 4+ to rotate it. So rotate an adjacent prism marker up to 90 degrees. Its beam inflicts D3 wounds on any model it touches as it moves. If a beam touches a statue, go to passage 49. If both touch it at the same time, go to 57.
Okay, so we shall be reading those passages out in a bit. But for now,
we need to clear the room.
We need to clear the room. Right, that's the wisest thing to do before we continue.
I thought we could have just continued and get them to help us, you know. Ask them nicely.
Okay. Well, you ask them, I'll kill them.
Okay, I'll just shout in then.
Okay, so I'm going to steal one of these dice to move. I'm going to go 1, 2, sorry, no, I need to go 1, 2, 3, so I don't have to take agility rolls. So I'm going to attack with my, no, I'm going to take a guard stance with my 5+, and I'm going to do Thunder Charge Strike for a 6+, I need 3 to hit, and then just 3 damage. This is directed at this guy here at the front. To hit, he is dead.
Splat.
He's been splattered across the floor.
That's a renown for you.
A renown point.
I think he was there. I just caught him.
He was there, yeah. And so I've got guard stance on. So next is the Fire Slayer. Twisted Fire Slayer.
Oh, sorry. Nice back.
Out of the way. What have you done now?
What have I
That's
done?
your fault.
That's not my fault.
It is your fault.
I'm innocent in all matters.
I need to move quite far anyway. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So if I go through 1, 2, 3, I'll be there through the portal. Get rid of that, and then we'll move again. So I'm going to go and stand there. And I get rid of that dice.
Can you not use any of the Destiny dice?
I can do. I might use one of those 5s. But let's see. Let's use. I've got 2 dice I can use Runic War Irons with. 2+ to hit and do 1 damage. I'm going to direct them at the guy with the shield. I'm going to do them both because he's got more wounds than that anyway. They both hit because it's 2+ to hit, so he takes 2 wounds. That leaves him with 2 because he's got shield. So I'm going to steal the. Before I put them on, I'm going to steal this 5, which locks out the 4. To use my Doomseeker Axe. So fingers crossed I roll a 3. Yay!
Yay!
So that does D3 damage. So we need at least. Oh wait a minute. He's dead.
Is he?
Before I even rolled that dice, he's dead. Because each one of those hits I did before did an extra damage because of my runic switched on.
Oh, right, yeah.
So he's dead. And that's a point to
you?
To him.
Yeah.
So that hit, which is now going to be aimed at him. And this is D3 plus 1, which is 2 damage. So
you've still got 2 damage here, John.
Yeah, that's.
Sorry.
Go next to him. There we go. That's my turns.
Okay.
There's 1 dice left for use. So just the War Priest.
Yeah, so I've got 2, 2, 3 and a 6.
Yep.
Right, I need to get myself in that room.
Yep.
So I'm going to use a 2 to get in the room.
1, 2, 3. What are you thinking? Have you got a 6?
I've got a 6, which I can use that Light of Sigmar, which I might use.
So you can damage everything in the room?
Yeah.
Which will kill the guy who's wounded?
Yeah, so I'll use that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to roll this.
Yeah.
2 plus.
Yay.
Yep.
Just.
So damage 1.
So it kills him, because he's already got 2 damage.
So that gives him
Everyone else takes 1 damage. They're little bad guys anyway. So what else are you doing?
I've got a command, so I can use my 2.
You're going to do a command here?
Yeah, I'm going to command the Gryph-hound to go and attack.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
2 dice. Oh, 2 5s.
So just 2 wounds.
2 wounds.
So we'll kill this guy, yeah?
Yeah.
Because he kind of charged straight towards him.
Right.
That's another renown.
Yeah.
Did we move that last time?
I did, yes.
So
yeah, goes on the pile.
Everyone's at the same apart from the night quest, or?
I've got one left, and all I can really do is move. or use Sigmar's boon, which is to heal, and nobody needs a heal, so I think I'll just...
Unless you move towards one of the pillars.
Oh, I could do, couldn't I? Good point. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll use that 3 to move.
So 1, 2.
Yeah.
To there.
So that's him done.
Yep.
Yep.
So now for the chieftain.
Chieftain.
Oh, it's a lot of 6s.
So there's going to be a lot of charging going on here.
He's already stood next to the portal, isn't he?
Yeah.
So you're going to move first.
Yeah, I'll use the 4 to move.
So that's 1, 2, 3. So now you can use his charge ability.
So I use that 6.
Oh, wait, you could attack him first if you want.
Oh.
Because you're adjacent to him.
So I use my 6 to attack him.
Yep.
Oh, if I use that 4 to attack.
Use this. Yeah, use the spare 4.
Might as well use a 4, which will give me my broadsword.
Yep.
So
that's
6.
Hit.
Yeah, that's a hit.
D3 wounds.
2.
1 wound. He's got 1 left.
Suffering. Right, so I'll use a 6.
Yeah.
Shall I use death blow on him? Oh, it's only after slaying.
How are you going to do that?
I'm going to kill him.
Yeah.
4. So that was with the broadsword.
Yeah.
And 5.
Is that 3 wounds?
Yeah.
It's more like it. So there we go.
So how many wounds have I caused there?
2, 3.
3. Keep mark of that.
2.
2.
3. You already had 1 wound. It's 2 wounds.
So 2 wounds.
Yeah.
Put a little marker there.
Come here, mind one.
Right. So
now you can use your charge and attack move. So
yep.
you move and attack in the same turn.
Yep.
So which way are you going? To there or to there?
I'll go to here, I think.
Both exactly the same.
Yeah, they are, aren't they?
So
yeah.
So you've hit and you do 1 damage.
Yeah, he's doing really well. Last chargey thing.
Yep.
No.
Missed. Oh, it's a shame.
Yeah. So that's him done.
Okay.
Yep.
Right. So that's it. So it is their turn now. So we have 2 groups. We've got the acolytes and we've got the pink horror. So she'll roll for the acolytes. Which is a 4. Which means there is no escape. Each acolyte moves towards the nearest hero. Then each acolyte attacks the nearest hero with whichever weapon is in range.
Oh, okay.
So they move. So he's going to move there because he's nearest. And that means 1, 2, 3. That means that the chieftains are nearest for him now.
Okay.
Whose is that?
Was that guy's?
Whose is that one?
That was his.
Right.
I think.
So, whatever. So now they attack, all with blades. So we've got 2 glaives, so that's 2 damage instead of 1. So 2 against the Night Questor. Both miss, 2 and a 1. And 2 against the Chieftain. 3 and a 1. It was 4 to hit, so they both missed. That leaves us with the Acolyte guy. He's going to use his knife because he's in close combat. Which is 1 dice, 3, so it's missed.
So they've
all missed.
They've all wafted the air.
This is when bad dice rolls help her. So for the pink horror, 6.
Ooh.
Vicious capering. Each horror in the group moves towards the nearest hero, which is, again, unfortunately,
Me.
you. And then either with blue fire or it's flickering blade, whichever is in range. So it's flickering blade. So it's 2 dice. They are hitting on 2s. And do 1 damage. So only 1's hit. Let's take a save.
So 5 plus? No.
So he's taking the damage. Oops. Get the dice. Your coordination's terrible tonight.
I know it is.
Or mine is. Right. Okay. And then the runic goes to the Dwarf Seeker, who rolls the Destiny dice. Unfortunately, that one wasn't a roll. More fortunate. There's 3 ones.
3 ones.
6 to 5. Unexpected event is 1, so that's 10, and that's 14 in total.
So 14.
14, whatever 14 is.
A thick and cloying fog billowed up to engulf the champions, scintillating blue and purple vapours in which strange lights swarm.
Is that LSD again?
I know. Clouds shredded apart as quickly as they had come, but in their wake were left Carrick acolytes who sprang swiftly to the attack.
Okay.
Roll a dice and place how many acolytes next to the board. Starting with the wound marked player and going clockwise, each player sets up one of those acolytes as close to their hero as possible until they have all been set up.
There's one. I rolled one.
Oh, right,
so,
okay.
There.
Put him where you want.
Or sticking behind is like, aha! Where's my friend?
We all said we were going to do it together. You guys said you were going to do it together.
I thought we were just on a flashback as well from the LSD earlier. Oh. Okay.
Well, you've got some of those Destiny dice to use as well if you want.
I'm still ruined.
Being marked as well.
I'm ruined up.
You're ruined up.
There's no one else to fight, so this guy's in trouble. Aha! No, you're dead. You're so dead. I'm going to use the 2. Oh, it doesn't really matter. It's a 1+ for the War Iron, so. And I've missed. I'm going to use the other one. Still missed.
Oh no!
This is good. Again. 4. So he takes 2 damage, leaving him with 1. I'm going to steal that 3, walking out to the 6. Do the same again.
Yeah.
So he takes 2 more damage, which kills him.
Yay!
So he popped on, and now he's popped off.
And you get a renown for that.
I do. And that leaves me with a 5. But no one's in combat now.
Why don't you move the thing? If you move it to that, it'll take damage.
Oh yeah, good idea. So I'm going to spin that 90 degrees. So it needs a 4 up to do that, so I can show that dice. Spin that 90 degrees, so the beam then hits the pink horror.
Yeah.
And inflicts D3 wounds. 1.
Yay.
1 whole wound. Fantastic. However, there is no adjacent adversaries to my dwarf, and he has a throwing axe. So if there are no adjacent adversaries at the end of your turn, pick an adversary within 3 spaces, roll a dice on a 3+, they suffer a wound.
Oh, right, okay.
So I'm going to aim at the one that stood in front of the chieftain. And I need a 3+. It's a 6. He's just got an axe in his head.
Ooh.
Plop.
There's your dice. Nice.
So now it is over to the
War priest.
The war priest. War priest of the warring warriors.
So we've got 2 5s, a 2 and a 1.
Okay.
Right. Just thinking about this, what I can do. Where's my doggy? I can ask my doggy to attack. So I'm going to use the 2.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask him to attack. So 2 dice. I'll use these 2 white dice.
Nothing.
Nothing. That's a shame.
Just nipping at the guy's heels.
Yeah. Is it worth me moving, do you think? Or
You could move and then attack this guy.
I could move to here and then use my hammer of hammeriness to hit him. Yeah, I'll do that. So
Sigmar's
I'll use my 5.
Yeah. 6.
So that's a 3+ to hit. So I was hitting for 1 damage.
So that's 1 damage. Okay.
And then I'm going to heal the chieftain.
Okay.
With my 5.
Yep.
So Sigmar's boom 3+. No.
No. It's a shame.
I'm not going to heal him then. Yeah.
Okay, so is it the
It's the
chieftain's
turn now.
So 3 dice.
3 dice. Thank you.
Don't want you to roll 6 and then miss it.
So that's bad. 2, 2 and a 3. I can use War Axe at least.
You just war axe things to death. Huh?
Yeah, so I'm going to use War Axe.
On the pink?
On the pink horror, yeah.
Right.
So 2 2+ to hit.
So it's hit him.
It's hitting 1 damage.
Yep, so he's dead.
And then you want a blue horror there, don't you? 2 blue horrors.
2 blue horrors, please.
Like that?
Yep.
Might as well.
Probably go like that because they wouldn't jump into the light. Because then they'd burn
Oh,
themselves.
right, yeah. Good point.
Either that or they'd be like that. That's probably one on either side.
Yeah, it's probably more. So, use the 2, War Axe again. 2+ to hit, 1 damage.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's chipped away at him.
And with my last dice, I'll do the same.
Yep.
So, I've hit, so that's another damage.
Kill him. So that's another renown. And Brimstone Horror Spell.
So, because I killed him, I forgot to use Death Blow.
But you just killed him, you can use it. You can use it on the Brimstone Horror. Or not.
Or not, maybe I'll just waft my axe above his head.
No!
Waft the flames
Yeah,
out.
it is flames, it is logical I suppose. Okay, so our roll for each of the groups. We have an Acolyte group and we have a Horror group.
Excuse me.
So the Acolyte group is a 6.
The Night Questor's not gone.
Sorry?
The Night Questor, he's not gone.
Has he not? Oh yeah, we started with...
We started with
Back.
5.
Hold that thought.
Ignore that.
Okay, so Night Questor goes. So 4, a 5, a 2 and a 1.
And don't forget there's a 6 that's not being used
6.
as well.
I may as well steal that now. I'm going to use that as well. So we are going to use that straight away and Thunder Charge this guy in front of me. Which is a miss. So we're not. There we go. That's that one. We're going to Warblade him instead. Which is a hit. And does 1, 2 damage, which kills him.
Yay! So you get a renown.
Renown for that. Okay. We now need to move. So we're going to move to there. And we're going to use that dice to move. And we're going to attack with Thunder Charge. No, sorry, with the Warblade again. It's a hit, so he does 2 damage to him, which kills him.
Another renown.
Another renown.
1 more and you level up.
Yeah. This is the last room, the last
I
problem.
know, yeah. It's
They
a bit
seem
of
to
a
have
bum,
got here
that.
really quick and no one's going to level up or anything.
So with your 4, what are you doing with your 4?
4, I'm going to move because I can't do anything from here, can I?
You can actually move the dial, can't you? So it's beaming straight up. So next time we only need to move it again.
Yeah, I'll use the 4 to move the dial to there. So, yeah, we'll do that. That's fair enough.
It makes it quicker then.
Yeah, okay. So now it's their turn. So we'll start with, there's only one group, is the horrors.
Yeah.
The horrors, I think I have to roll for them separately because they're 2 separate.
Put the dice.
I'll roll for that one which is a 4 and that one which is a 6. I think that's right because they do different styles of horror. If it isn't, it isn't, whatever. Blazing Whirlwind for the 4+. Each horror in the group moves so that there are as many heroes in the chamber as possible, which doesn't need to move. Then each horror group attacks with pink fire, which is an area attack, so it hits everybody in the chamber. So pink fire is a 4+. For actually, yeah, it is just 1 dice, and I rolled the 4 first. So both of them are going to do pink fire. So I remember now from the example I read. So both of them are going to do pink fire. The blue horror will do it on a 4+. Yeah, everyone takes damage of 1, unless they can save it.
Oh, right, okay.
So the Night Questor failed, the Doomseeker passed,
The Chieftain failed. And the Warrior Priest failed.
and then the Brimstone is going to do pink fire, but that also destroys him. It uses all his energy to do it, and he does it on a 2, so he failed. So he blew himself up for nothing. Okay, that is their turn. So it is back to passing the token on to the warrior priest.
Right. May I have the destiny dice of destinies?
The destiny dice of destiny. 2 6s.
2 6s. Oh dear. We've got a 4, 3 and a 2.
Okay. Right. So roll the dice.
Both of them are one at
a time.
5,
53.
Okay, it's the one that I read out before. So in that moment, the air resounded with a cacophony of demonic voices, gleeful shrieks, jabbering riddles, curses uttered backwards, and threats that dripped like slime from the air echoed around the champions in a maddening din. The fires of change leapt high, then guttered out to leave capering horrors in their wake. Each player rolls a dice. If they roll a 1 or a 2, their hero set ablaze by demonic wildfire, suffers a wound, then set up a pink horror to the nearest portal. If there are at least 3 players, also set up 2 blue horrors at the same portal. So both of my guys get another wound.
Oh, hell.
Oh dear.
Hopefully the warrior priest is going to roll a lot of dice that can heal people.
Hopefully you can bop somebody first off and then try and heal people.
Go on then.
So 2 dice. 5 and a 6. So can I borrow that 2?
You can use any dice you want.
I'm going to use that 2 to use Warhammer.
Yeah.
So I need 3 to hit. So I've got a 5.
Yeah.
So he suffers 1 wound.
Yeah. Oof.
And then with that, I'm going to use Sigmar's Boon.
Yeah.
So with a 5. Oh, it's not worked. Sigmar's Boon.
Yeah.
Not worked again.
What do you need to use it?
3.
Use the other 3. You use this on the chieftain, by the way, or yourself?
Chieftain, do you think?
Yeah.
No.
No. Oh well.
Chieftain's going to cop it.
Yes, indeed.
So that was terrible.
Yep, it was.
So Griffound's going to move to
Yep.
do whatever he's going to do.
1.
He's going to just sit there like a prune. Well, it's actually 1 to 2, which is rest. So you can remove a wound marker from the Griffound. If there's no wound markers, move the Griffound instead.
Do you want to move him?
Could do.
Move him over there.
Move him over there.
Just in case he gets a chance to... Oh, don't move him there, actually.
Yeah, because he's going to get...
a beam.
Yeah. No, just leave him
whatever.
there. He can just rest. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, champion. 1 dice. He's got a 5. I think I'm just going to stand there and recuperate.
So you need a 1+ to recuperate for the first attempt. That gives you 1 damage back.
So do
You
I...
don't need to roll for
I don't
it.
need to... So,
You just use your dice up, unfortunately. But you do get a win back for doing it.
yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So it's the night quest next, isn't it? So it's 3 dice. So 1, 3, 2... Okay, so I'm going to move a whole 1 space to there. And I'm going to use Thunder Strike on the pink horror, which fails miserably. Is that an available dice as well?
Yes, it is.
I'm going to try using a Warblade on him, which also misses. Great stuff. And I'm just going to use that then to enter guard stance. So I'll put 1 of my own dice on there. Okay, so now it's the Fire Slayer, who's the only person who's not wounded, and the one that doesn't wear any armour. Which makes perfect sense. Oh, that's a good roll. Fortunately, it's only a 1 for his basic attack, so there we go. So he's going to use his basic attack on this guy, which is a 2+ to hit, so he does it 1 damage plus 1 damage, kills him.
Yay!
And then the Brimstone Horror will appear.
Plop.
So we will do the same again, hopefully. 2+. Yep, that's enough. That kills the Brimstone Horror. So we use the other one to move to there. And he's going to use the last 2 to use his runic on that guy. And misses! Boom.
That's been a bad round for that one.
Great stuff.
Yay.
So now it's them.
Mm.
So we have blue horrors and we have pink horrors, all acting as horrors. I'm just going to roll once for them. Or you're going to roll once for them, should I say?
Okay.
You're the green map player.
4.
Blazing World. Each horror in the group makes it so there are many heroes in the challenge as possible, then does a pink fire attack. This is not going to be fun for anyone.
No.
So we'll start with the pink horror. We need a 3+ to wound us all.
Right.
Go for it. So we all need to take a save. So the Questor takes his save of a 3+, passes. 4+, fails, and then becomes wounded.
5+, saved.
Yay.
Warrior Priest, 6+, no, fails. So he's got a wound on him. Do I need to roll for Griffhound?
Yes.
So is it his vigour?
No, because he's saving it. Do you not have a save?
No, he doesn't have a save. He's
just
got
take-
vigour, agility and move.
Yeah, so he's going to take a wound.
Right.
So now you need to roll for the first blue horror. And they do it on a 4+.
No.
And the other blue horror on a 4+.
Yes.
So we all need to take a save again. Saved. Saved.
Not saved. No, he's
No.
dead.
So he's suffered
cocked it.
grievous wounds.
Yeah,
So he is
we remove him. And Griffhound's just going to take a wound, isn't he?
Yeah.
The second wound marker is placed next to it. Discard the wound markers and remove the Griffhound from the board. So he's removed as well.
Bye, Griffin. See you again.
Yeah. Oh dear.
That's not good.
No, that's the first time that's happened.
Okay. If we rest, he can come back on, you see.
Yeah.
But, we need to rest after we kill these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so the rune passes to Chieftain,
Yeah.
who's the first person to go. And I would probably recommend resting, but
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with the Destiny dice.
2 1s.
2 1s. Great.
Yeah. Good.
6 in there. So what have we got this time?
So,
35.
So in that place, champions came across a portal that glimmered with a mirror sheen. Within its depths, one of their number perceived a beckoning figure. Seized by the compulsion to obey the cowled figure, they stumbled helplessly towards the mirror and the many grasping limbs that pushed from beneath its surface. The rune marked player rolls D3 and moves their hero that many spaces towards the nearest portal. The hero is in the portal space. At the end of the move, they are stunned D3 times. So, D3, so that's a 6.
Oh, balls. So you move him there,
Yeah,
and then he gets stunned.
D3 times.
Well, he's only got 1 wound left, unfortunately, so... That's that.
So, does that mean I'm stunned or out of the game?
It's just stunned,
Right,
but you don't roll any hero dice.
so I
You
can't
can
roll.
still use Destiny dice, though.
Right,
So you can use a Destiny dice to rest and take away the stun.
yeah, I'll use a 3 then.
And you could use another one to get rid of another one. You need a 2+, but that's a 4,
Right.
so that's fine.
Okay,
Okay. So it goes straight to the Night Quest, or
yeah.
we need some good dice. I'm going to look at 3. So that's 6, 5 and 5.
That's good.
That's fingers crossed anyway. So the Thunder Strike charge again against this guy. 4. This time it's hit, does 3 damage. And I'm going to use a normal attack, which is 2, which misses. So I'm going to use another normal attack, which is a 6, which hits, does another 3 damage, which bursts the pink horror into 2 blue horrors, and gives me a point for 9, which levels me up.
Yay!
So I take 2 cards at random, which is Wellspring and Living Fortress. Both of these, right, so on the card, under traits, you see that on there, the Night Questor has Celestial and Unrelenting. So if any of the skills that he gets have any of those two, it has extra abilities. Both of these are Unrelenting. So Wellspring, before making your action roll a dice for each wound on your hero card. On a roll of a 6, replace it with a stun marker. If your hero has Unrelenting, remove the wound without replacing it with a stun marker. Living Fortress, roll a dice each time your hero suffers a wound. On a 6, they are stunned instead. If your hero is Unrelenting, add 1 to the result of this roll for each wound marker on your card. So I'll show you that one. That is Wellspring. And that is Living Fortress.
So which one are you going for?
Before making your action roll, roll a dice. And on a 6, you can replace it with a stun marker. Or, because I'm Unrelenting, I can just remove it entirely. So it's a 6 plus 2, take a wound off. Or each time I suffer a wound, I can roll a 6 and it's turned into stun instead. But because I'm Unrelenting, that becomes a 5 plus. Both good. I'm going to go with Living Fortress though.
Okay.
I think the ability to stop wounds incoming, so that goes to the bottom of the pile. Okay, so that was it, wasn't it? That was my last move. Okay, Doomseeker. 3 dice. Oh, 1, a 5 and a 6. Okay. I've also got that Destiny dice, haven't
Yeah, you have.
So we're going to use the one to do a War Iron against the blue horror, which hits, which does a total of 2 damage because of the rune that it's got, which kills him and replaces him with the Brimstone Horror. And he levels up slightly. Not quite got that yet. So he's going to attack again. This time I'm going to use... Do I go for the safe? I'm going to go for the safe 2 plus, which is a good thing. That kills him. I am then going to move and use the Destiny dice to use a Doomseeker Axe. It does a hit, so we want a nice high roll. Well, actually he's dead anyway, because it's D3, which is a 1, plus 1, which is 2, which kills him.
Yay!
Which pushes Renown up again. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Right, so now it's their turn, isn't it? So, Chieftain, do you want to roll for the group of horrors that we have?
1 dice?
Yeah.
1.
So, bolts of Azure Flame, each horror in a group attempts to move so it is not adjacent to any heroes, and then it will use flickering fire or blue fire. Flickering blood or blue fire. So he's not adjacent. So, but he does need to move so he can target someone. So he'll move to there. He's going to make an agility roll, which is anything but the 1.
Cool.
So he moves back. He's going to have to make... Well, he can automatically move, can't he? Because he's got agility of 1. He's going to go there. And... Yeah. So... Now they're going to all make fire rolls. So we'll start with the blue horror attacking Stormcast.
3.
It needs a 4.
Who's not done anything?
So blue are against chieftain.
6.
So that does 1 damage. Unless you can save it.
Yes.
Saved. And then this one against the Stormcast.
4.
So that's a 4 plus save I need. 5, so nothing.
Does he not go puff?
No, only if you use pink fire.
Oh, right, okay.
If you use blue, you can cast blue fire. Pink fire is stronger though, as you've seen.
Oh, right,
So,
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So the rune token should be passed to the Night Questor. Who's now going to go first? I need to roll the Destiny dice and hope that there's no more special events. Oh my lord.
Why are you doing this?
It's you as well. 21.
Propped against a nearby wall, the champions found a robed acolyte, his throat slit open from ear to ear. Clutched in the figure's dead hands and caked in drying blood, a treasure glistening golden. Yet a sense of terrible threat radiated from this stricken corpse, a coiling malicious curse that might awaken the slightest jolt to wreak havoc on all who disturbed its slumber. Flip over the top treasure card, leaving it on the top of the deck. Put a dice on top of it, and in the centre of the card, put a dice on top of it in the centre of the card, and another dice on top of that one. Pick one player from the group, and they can attempt to take the treasure without setting off the trap. They must try and take the face-up card using one hand without touching either of the dice. If either dice falls off the deck, the trap is triggered. Discard the treasure card, the player who has attempted to take the treasure, and each other player whose hero is in the same chamber as theirs rolls a d3 minus their hero suffers that many wounds. At any point the player can give up by removing the dice from the deck and discarding the face-up treasure card.
Okay, the death rune.
Okay, that sounds good.
Shall I go on try and take it first?
Yeah, go on.
Oh!
Oh!
So I don't get a treasure card.
You don't get the treasure card, it gets
And what
discarded.
happens to us?
Each other player whose hero is in the same chamber as theirs rolls a d3 minus. Sorry, I take that. Rolls a d3 minus their hero suffers that many wounds. Or is that
First
just
take the treasure, and each other player roll a d3, and they suffer that many wounds.
right? Okay.
Oh god.
Yeah.
That could have just killed us.
Yeah.
So you get 1 wound. 1 wound. 2 wounds.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
This isn't going well, is it?
That was bad. Sorry, butterfingers. In fact, each time I would take a wound, I need to roll a dice. Didn't get a 6. Not a shock.
Right. We need to get the warrior priest back on, don't we? The war priest.
Yeah. Well, you had to get him killed, so...
Well, yeah, I know.
Right, so where are we up to here? Need to roll 2 dice for the Night Questor door. Okay.
You need to... Did you roll the destiny dice as well?
Yeah, because that's where we ended up where we are.
Oh, right, okay.
I am going to use the first one to just rest, and I'm going to use the second one to move. I'm going to steal a dice, which is the 2. So use my war blade, which I need a 3 or more. Does 2 damage, which kills the brimstone. Okay. And then the Doomseeker. 5. So I'm going to steal the 3 to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am going to rest. And because I've ended my turn and there are no adjacent enemies to me, I'm going to throw my war axe at that guy. He misses. Hits the wall. Ching. Over to the chieftain.
Chieftain 1 dice. 5. So with that 5 I'm going to rest, I think.
Yeah. I do the same thing, rest, and then use the other dice to rest as well, I would.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Try and get some wounds back.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all we can do, isn't it?
That's pretty much all we can do. So, the horrors do a 2, whatever 2 is. Bolts of azure flame, which is the same as last time. So they don't need to move. One's going to target him, one's going to target him. So the one against Stormcast is a 4, so that's hit. The one against the Chieftain is a 2, so that's missed. Good news for the Chieftain. It does 2 damage unless I can save it on a 4 up. Saved.
Yay!
There we go, good. That passes to the dwarf. And we need to roll destiny dice.
Mm-hmm.
No duplicates, please. Or at least no bad duplicates. 2s, which is treasure card 1. So no one's got any treasure, so that's not going to affect us.
Oh, we've got 4s as well.
4s as well? Oh,
Yeah.
4s. If any 4s are discarded, there are anniversaries on the board with a vigour of 3. They've all got vigours of 2. So we've got 1 destiny there. I didn't see there was 2 4s, sorry. Okay, so the Doomslayer. 3 dice this time. Okay. So he's going to move. And he's going to attack with his iron, war iron, which gives it 1 damage, plus 1. Did he kill anyone last turn? Didn't, did he?
He didn't, so he loses that.
So he's only done 1 damage. And then it leaves him with 1 attack, which is the same again, but misses. That's a lot of use. Over to the Chieftain.
Chieftain. So 2 6s and a 4.
So I think a charge attack's coming in.
Yes, I think he's going to use his charge attack. So then make a weapon action of your choice. So I'm going to use broadsword. 3 plus, so that's 4. D3, 2. So that's 1 damage, isn't it?
1 damage. That's all you need though.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Brings one of these little creatures up.
Yep.
So using death blow, I'm going to carry it on.
Yep.
No, it's missed.
Okay.
So using 4. Using the 4, he's going to use broadsword.
Yep.
D3 plus, D3, 2. That's 1 more damage. So
Damage
he's gone.
enough to kill it.
And then with the 6, he's just going to heal.
Yep, that's fine. So Night Questor. That's a lot of 6s. So I'm going to use that to move 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to do a Thunder Strike to charge against the blue horror, which hits and splats it into a million parts. Followed by a Brimstone Horror coming on, and another 6, which also destroys that. And as I'm the last one to go, I'm going to steal the Destiny dice to rest.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. So there's no adversaries on the board.
No.
That passes to the chieftain. Okay, so it's to go to chieftain and destiny time. So as long as we don't get any adversaries, please Lord. We're good.
We're good.
You didn't roll any doubles.
No.
Brilliant. I think it's time to have a respite and a search because we've kind of. I think we just got to the end room really quick.
Yes.
We don't have time to really look for treasure and stuff, so I think it's time to do that. It's time to have a respite. So, during a respite,
Time to have a Kit Kat.
we're going to have a break now.
We're going to have a Kit Kat.
If there are no adversaries on the board at the start of a phase, the heroes can take a respite. Each player sets up their hero anywhere in the current chamber, then roll a dice and add the number of skill cards that all the heroes have between them. If the result is 9 or more, there is an ambush. Otherwise, each player can rest and heal D3 wounds, or search the room by rolling a dice. On the result of 4, they will find a treasure card.
I can place Warrior Priest back, but I keep all my wounds.
Yeah. So, you can use, when it comes to your turn, you can use Destiny dice to heal.
Yes.
So we'll leave the Destiny dice there for that. So
what's next? Sorry, what does it say we need to do next? Roll.
So you can roll a D. You can heal D3 wounds. So the Doomseeker's going to do that. He's going to heal D3 wounds. But he's only got 1. The Ballista can roll a 1 anyway.
Right.
So that's his turn. The Night Questor is going to look for treasure. So that's a 4 up. No treasure. What's the Chieftain doing?
He can roll for treasure.
Roll for treasure. No treasure. You need a 4+ to find treasure. So the Warrior Priest, we have the whole pool of Destiny dice ready for him.
So, shall I use the... What do I need?
If you want to take a respite, it's 1 for the first one, 2 for the second one, 3 for the third one. You don't need to roll for it.
I don't need to roll for it?
No, you just need to use a 1.
Oh, right, okay.
So 1 for the first respite, which locks out the 5. So you can take another respite for a 2.
2.
Which locks out the 4.
No.
Then you take a third respite, which is 3 unless you've got something you can heal more than 1 wound with.
No.
Right. So use
No, I don't actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're back with
I'm back.
only 1 wound on you.
And Griffhound's back as well.
Did he come back on?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Right, so that's that turn. So the disc will now pass back to the Night Questor. And we'll have to roll on the Destiny again. So, if nothing appears, do you want to look for more treasure?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, we've got 2 4s.
2 4s though.
But
2 4s is one of the familiars. It's Tweak. And he only appears if you roll 2 4s and there's a vigor 3 or higher opponent on the table, and there isn't.
Alright.
So they've gone.
Sorry, mate. You're not coming on.
Sorry, dude. So the Night Questor. Are we going to search for treasure?
We can do if you want. Or do you want to get out of the room?
I'm going to search for treasure.
Okay.
I think we should look for, see if we can find some. 4. Night Questor's found some treasure. He's found a filter of luck. To make an attack or a save roll for your hero, you can take a swig from this potion to change the result to a number of your choice. Then roll another dice. Discard this card if the result of this is lower than the result you chose. Where is that? And the dwarf. Right, so he doesn't find anything. What about yourself?
So it's priest, isn't it? 6. So he's found something. Alariel's Kiss.
Yay!
Held in a delicate jade bottle, this luminescent potion heals the drinker's wounds instantly. You can drink this potion before making your action roll. Roll a dice for each wound marker on your card. On a 2 or 3, replace it with a stun marker. On a 4, 5 or 6, remove it entirely, then discard this card.
It's useful. Chieftain.
5.
He's got some treasure.
So he's got Amulet of Fury. When called upon, a raging fire spirit flows from this amulet and into the wearer's weapon. You can channel the power of the amulet immediately after you wound an adversary. Roll 4 dice. For each dice that scores a 5 or a 6, the adversary suffers another wound. If the amulet causes wounds, then discard this card.
Awesome. So that's that turn. So that passes to Fire Slayer. He's rolling for Destiny. Lots of sixes.
Oh, 3 sixes.
Lots of sixes. So we get 6, 46.
Is that right?
46.
46. Okay. Blinding light engulfed the champions, a searing luminescent that manifested without warning and burned away all sensation. For a span of time that might have been seconds or centuries, the champions hung in that eerie void before reality sprang back upon them with fearsome roar. Remove all miniatures from the board except the rune-marked player's hero and set them aside. Starting with the rune-marked player and going clockwise, the players take turns setting up a miniature that was removed. Miniatures must be set up in the same chamber as the rune-marked player's hero, or as close as possible if there are no spaces in that chamber. Once all the miniatures that were set aside have been returned to the board, the round continues.
Oh, so pretty much nothing happens.
Pretty much nothing happens really, because
Yeah,
we're not going to...
We'll just put them back where we found them. Done. Right. Okay. Yeah, so are we taking another turn of respite to look for treasure?
Nah, I think we should carry on now.
Okay. Dwarf wanted treasure.
Well, why don't you pass him one of yours?
Because he's not having it.
That's a bit now.
Right. Dwarf first then. This is a dwarf first, isn't it? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we have those. He's going to use a 4+. Well, he's going to move, sorry. He's going to use 3+ to move. 4+ to turn that so it hits the statue. So you need to read passage 49.
As the beam of otherworldly illumination struck the demon statue, the champions heard a terrible shriek of rage. Great cracks began to spread across the idol's surface, and from them shone an infernal light. Thus did the champions come to realise what had to be done.
As in turn things.
Yeah, it was kind of like a "do" moment.
I'm going to use one of the Destiny dice to move. 1, 2, 3. So I'm adjacent to that one. I'm going to turn the other one
Okay.
to 4+. So now you need to point in both at statue. So now you need to read out 57.
57.
Yep.
As the demonic statue at last shattered apart, blue flames roared from its sundered remains. Hanging amid those spectral fires was revealed the gaunt summoner, albeit a shadow of his true self. The demon favoured the champions with an unsettling smirk, then raised one hand. Up from his outstretched palm there drifted a glinting fragment of the amulet of which the summoner had spoken before. This, proclaimed the ethereal demon, was the first piece of the puzzle, for on it was seared a syllable of his true name. Such words have power, he revealed, and should the champions gather all, they would be able to bind him to their will, albeit for a few moments, long enough to demand his boon and earn their freedom. Why should he tell them all this? Asked the gaunt summoner with a sharp smile. Perhaps it was just his nature or the caprice of Tzinch. Perhaps he had earned such revelation, or perhaps his fear of these interlopers was so little that he could hand them the keys to unlock his power, knowing that they would never live long enough to use them. With that last pronouncement, the spectral creature raised his blade and darted to the attack, the amulet fragment still orbiting lazily around him with the promise of rewards yet to be reaped. The beams are shut off immediately and no longer have any effect. Set up the gaunt summoner directly in front of the statue and put the fragment of Hish, marked with the symbol above, next to the board. The gaunt summoner is slain. The rune-marked player can take the fragment, completing the trial. turn back to the start of the book and read Ending the Trial to see what happens next.
Okay.
So we need to kill him.
Yes. So that's my last bit for the dwarf. I can't really do anything else for that because I'm not in range.
Okay.
So I'm ending my turn, and there's no one adjacent to me, so he's hurling an axe at the Gaunt Summoner. Whoosh. Which strikes him squarely in the face. Taking his first wound. He's got 9 in total. Now he's got 8.
Ouchie. So, War Priest. We have 2 5s and a 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, with the 1 he's going to use the Warhammer.
Yep.
And he's hit damaging for 1.
Cool. I'll just make sure that the Gaunt Summoner, he moves 9, he's got a Vigour of 9, he's got 1 Agility, he's got Warp Tongue Blade, Searing Flames and Internal Flames. And when the Gaunt Summoner is wounded, the attacking hero must discard their highest remaining hero dice.
Oh.
So you got to get rid of a 5.
Rid of a 5.
Yep.
So I've got 1 5 left.
Yep.
So I'm just going to use it again for Warhammer.
Yep.
And he's missed. However, Griffhound, we need to roll for Griffhound. So that's a 6 and that's a hunt.
He's hunting.
He's hunting. So 2 dice.
And he's wounded the Gaunt Summoner.
Wounded him.
Good Griffhound.
Nice.
That's 3 wounds he's off.
So, Baccarat champion, chieftain, even.
Yep.
We've got a 6, we've got a
Spread out a bit of
5,
stuff.
we've got a 4 and a 2.
So he could move
He's
1,
gonna
2,
move.
3 and then charge, couldn't he?
Yeah, so he's going to move 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
With my 6, I'm going to charge in.
Attack.
And I'm going to use broadsword.
Broadsword.
So-
6, that's a hit.
So it's a hit.
Another
so
6 would be great. A
So it's a
4,
4.
it's 2 wounds. So now you got to get rid of your highest other dice.
That's 5. So with a 4, I'm going to use broadsword again.
Yep. That's a hit.
3.
Yeah. You've done
It's a 5.
3 wounds that time. So that's another 3 wounds. What's that on? 8. He suffered 8 wounds.
Oh.
He's got 1 wound left.
So,
So the question is, can the Knight Questor kill him?
come on, Knight Questor.
Come on, this is what you were created by Sigmar for.
I should have used that, shouldn't I?
What's that?
The Amulet of Fury. For each dice that scores a 5 or a 6, the adversary suffers another wound. But I can't remember what I rolled now, so.
Oh,
Leave it to Knight Questor, it'll make you feel good.
make you feel good.
Yeah.
It's not meant to me. Right, so that's his dice. Which is fine.
Sigmarine.
Sigmarine. Come on, Sigmarine. Warblade. 3 plus.
Bolt
2
pistol.
damage. 3 plus. 2 damage. Get rid of that. You're dead. Point. There we go. Gaunt Summoner is dead. Do you want to read the final part of the book? Tell us what to do.
So you'll get the rune marks. We'll get the amulet of Hish.
Oh, the dwarf gets the Hish
Yes.
amulet.
So whether the heroes were successful or not, they must wander the Silver Tower in search of the Gaunt Summoner's next test. Amid its labyrinthine corridors, that which has been learned may fade like a dream, while treasures may serve their purpose or simply be lost. Each player rolls a dice for each treasure card they have. On a 1, 2 or 3, return it to the treasure deck. On a 4, 5 or a 6, the hero keeps it.
My treasure.
Any fragments of the amulet are kept by the players that took them. If the group has no fragments of the amulet, each player must then discard all of their skill cards. If the players do have any fragments of the amulet between them, its powers will help them retain their memories. If they have 1 fragment, each hero can keep 1 skill. If they have 2 or 3 fragments, each hero can keep 2 skills. If they have between 4 and 7 fragments, they can keep 3. And if they have all 8, they can keep 4. They must discard the rest. Any skills and treasure and fragments of the amulet that you keep will be with you when you attempt your next trial. You can either keep them with your hero card or just make a note for later reference. So I've got to roll for mine.
Yay, you get to
Yay.
keep that. And hopefully
No, he loses that.
The Amulet of Fury's gone.
Never mind.
Gone forever. So that was our first adventure into Warhammer Quest, our first full one.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was really good, actually. Kind of like quite touch and go when we were in that room.
Yeah.
Losing the war priest was a bit of a pain because I couldn't heal people then, which was really obvious. We were getting close to the bone kind of thing.
It probably would have been worth stopping early to search for more treasure, but at the end of the day, I think we did all right.
Well, we didn't know what was going to come up, did we? Really, kind of thing. So.
No, that's good. You've played old Warhammer Quest.
I have.
How does it compare from your memory?
This is slicker, I think, a lot simpler and quicker kind of thing, especially with these portals going on and stuff.
Yeah.
The only sad thing is that you don't get to return to the tavern and level up at the end. That's one thing that I'd like to see, because although you've clocked that and got whatever you've got, that experience will go, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that experience marker, to me, is a bit superfluous.
Yeah, you get your cards, but if you've not got round, like 3 of the characters haven't, then you don't get anything.
You don't get anything.
You got a 50-50 chance of keeping any treasure you've got.
Yeah, it's not like you get to keep it for the next one. It's all on the throw of a die.
So I completely agree with what you said. It's slicker. The game mechanics work really well, I think. The attacking, I like the idea we're using dice, and you reduce dice as you get wounded, and you just have to think about what you're doing. I like the fact everything's here, but it does lack the old Warhammer Quests progression between quests, because even if you didn't level up during a quest, you'd still have your XP from that quest, and you'd level up eventually. If it wasn't in the first quest, it'd be in the next quest, and you'd keep whatever you leveled regardless, and it'd become part of your character, and every character could then become individual. And I think that's what this needs. It needs a role-playing aspect of it. And now I'd like to basically go back to a tavern now and talk about how we defeated a Gaunt Summoner and got the first piece of an amulet. But this is the Silver Tower though, so we're stuck in here until we do all the trials. But what I'd like to see then is, after the trials are done, going out and celebrating, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even though the Chaos Warriors and Warrior Priests and all that lot. They had a Chaos Warrior in the original and Warrior Priest in the original. Yeah. And they got along just fine.
Yeah. I think as well that...
as long as he kept his helmet on.
You're kind of stuck with these... these actions, where with old Warhammer Quest, you could buy extra actions.
You could tailor your character.
You could tailor your character to how you wanted it. But for the next one, I'm stuck with Charge and Death Blow and Sigmar's Boom and Command. I'd like more. I would just like some more add-ons. Yeah,
I would.
Kind of thing.
I think it's a great start though.
Brilliant start. I'm not pulling it as...
The boss sections are great. I don't miss the doors, because the doors always knackered the boss section. At first, when they first said about the door sections, right, I got really sort of, I want doors, because doors look cool. And then I remember and look back at my Warhammer Quest stuff, that how they knackered the board, where you pushed them on and off repeatedly.
To be fair, why would the Silver Tower have doors? It's portals.
If they do dungeons in the future, they could still just print the doors on the dungeon.
Of course they could.
So that's fine. These portals are a great idea.
It speeds the
especially in the earlier ones where we had characters stuck back here.
It was just
I need to get
straight
through the portals.
Yeah,
I think they are really good.
That's a really inspired idea.
That was always one of the boring bits of Warhammer Quest. We had to walk through an empty dungeon, rolling to see if there's an unexpected event, then keep walking through an empty... It was like Lord of the Rings, just walking, and then more walking.
Yeah.
But no, that's slicker, because you can just jump through a portal and end up there. That's great.
And it's quite good that they can also come through the portal as well, so they can attack you from behind.
So the starting point, I think this is really good. I hope we see some expansion, not just in, like, doing like a Nurgle expansion and a Slash.
Oh, definitely. Khorne, yeah, definitely. I think, and then you can add them all together. Like
I'd love to see a Skaven dungeon. I'd love to see an Undead dungeon. But they would also have slightly different mechanics in them. But I'd also like to see these characters progress, have a name, and sort of build a personality, just like the original Warhammer Quest ones. you'd become tied to a character, you'd build its personality as you went along. You'd have tattoos that said Mitty Warrior on them instead of Mighty Warrior because you'd rolled wrong at a tavern and ended up with a tattoo. And all that adds to the experience of it. The outside part of the game. Obviously you're in the Silver Tower and you're trapped until you finish the trials or die. I get why maybe we're not going to any sort of outside areas at the moment. But once the trials are done, as I said, it would be nice to have like an extra bit where the heroes then went to like a tavern and could and talk about
or maybe like they fell through a portal that gave them extra powers kind of thing, you know, something.
It'd be good if this was like the prelude to them becoming proper heroes.
Yeah.
Or maybe you could have the voyage to here, do a prequel, because it says in the open that their epic journey here was blah 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 blah, and only they know how they got here. But maybe we could do that bit of it as well. But somehow just add a bit more depth into the characters. The models are great. You can't even really compare them with the original Warhammer Quest models.
No.
Which were great for the time that they were done in. Apart from the Minotaurs, they were a bit rubbishy. But which were great for the time they were done in. These are great models. And I really like them all. So both games are still valid, really. If you've got an old copy of Warhammer Quest, not compatible with this, really. But it's valid as a game on its own. So also, I just want to show you these guys because I bought one of the chariots as well. There is also the Exalted Flamer and Heralds from the Chariot set. I've got some of the old metal screamers which need repainting, and some old metal flamers as well, which also need repainting, but they're not here. But yeah, so they're going to be used in future games that we play. So
they're going to be the exotic things.
So there is some expansion going on as far as that's concerned. I really hope they do go somewhere with it, because as far as I'm concerned, this is way better than Age of Sigmar.
It's far more interesting, to be fair.
If they're going to drive it forward and expand on it and make it as good as, if not better than the original Warhammer Quest, that's where they need to go with it, really. That's what I'm over. At the moment, it's a board game, singular board game, which you can buy and play. It's really good. It's one of the best sort of like pick up and play games because it's really quick to learn. As far as Dungeon Crawl goes that we've played, it's a lot quicker to learn than Imperial Assault and all the others, but it does lack their depth, to be honest. Descent as well as another one. Even Dungeon Saga has a bit more depth in it and character creation in it than this does, because as I said, you can create your characters in Dungeon Saga. If you've seen our videos on it, and we will do some playthroughs on that as well, just to compare it, I think. But this is the easiest to pick up and play. It has a good sort of AI system in it, really. It does leave quite a bit of it up to you where placement goes and stuff. And obviously the rest of it's done with dice rolls to see who's going to be attacked. But it does work quite well. The old way of doing it was obviously with the cards, when you used to go into each area and you used to draw a card. That way at least you'd see a good cycle of monsters. This way with the dice rolls, as you saw in this one actually, we kept ending up with the same monsters coming in, horrors and acolytes, horrors and acolytes. It was like a Scooby-Doo. Horrors, acolytes, horrors, acolytes. It was only at the end when we saw the Gauntlet Summoner. I even had this librarian guy converted up, because I presumed we were going to go into the librarian. It's like a bit like the one in White Dwarf, and I had a bunch of books and arms left and a pink horror that I haven't painted. So I converted one into the librarian. There he is. But we never got to see him, unfortunately, during the game. Because we never got to the library, because it was there. All the library does is it lets you
switch those
on and off. So you can point it at somebody and switch it off or move it. But why? I don't know why you really need to.
Unless you needed to get a champion in front of it to move around if it got.
I suppose you could.
That they were both pointing at each other or something.
I suppose if you had a line of enemies, you could always just like turn it and blast it at them.
Yeah, like we did with that one there, kind of thing.
Or turn it off so they would, because while it's on, they won't walk in front of it. So turn it off while they walk in front of it, and then turn it on again and blast them, Independence Day style. But there we go. So overall, what did you think?
Overall, I thought it's a really good game, and it's nice to see an Age of Sigmar game come out, a standalone Age of Sigmar, because all the ones we've had recently have been 40k related, or 30k related for Battle at Calth.
Yes.
So it's nice to see that, you know, they are still thinking of Age of Sigmar, but like you say, this is so much more interesting than Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
Them actually playing a game.
I've been waiting for Warhammer Quest for years. And years and years and years. And I'm glad they brought it back. I'm just really keeping my fingers crossed they're going to do some expansions on it. And quickly as well. I really want to see a role-playing book. I want to see some in-betweeny game stuff. That's what I want to see.
I think the fact that they brought out those other... that expansion pack with the other models, the Slaughter Priest and that, seems to suggest they're testing the waters to see whether expansions would be
obviously the
interesting
expansion
kind of
pack's
thing.
really well priced for the models.
£35 for something like £85 worth of models or something like that.
Citation needed, but yeah, I think that's about right. So if they do that, it's well worth it, and they need to do it, to be honest, to sort of move things around and compete in an ever-growing market of games.
Yeah, but when we were in like Games Workshop on Saturday, we were saying to the guys in there about, you know, they could do extra, like, you know, they've got to Zinch, like we were saying, do Khorne, do Nurgle, do Slanesh, do the Horned Rat, you know, the new god kind of thing, and then add them all together so you can mix and match your dungeons, or make it a massive dungeon, like massive Zombicide that we played.
So standalone expansions, but you can add them together, just like Zombicide. If I'm afraid Zombicide is a bit like a dungeon crawler, and they do it so well.
They do.
It's the epitome of slick and enjoyable.
Yeah.
And they've learned from, and even when you get to Black Plague, they've learned a lot of lessons from normal Zombicide as well.
Yeah.
And it works really well. We do need to play that as well. So
we do.
That's something for the future. We are going to do a video on Zombicide, definitely. It's just a lot of things have got in the way, and we wanted to do this because it was fresh.
Yes.
Fresh. And then we'll go back to Black Plague. And maybe, you know, some other games in the future, like Dungeon Saga. Yes. But there we go. We've knotted on now at the end of that for ages. So if you want to see us play the next parts of this, let us know. We can do that on the camera. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I hope you'll join us again for some other videos. We might do some other Warhammer Quest dungeon runs.
Yes.
Anyway, with some different characters as well. When we get the characters next week, we could run through again. Obviously, even the same battle. So we'll have to do the first one first.
Yeah.
And then I think if you have a look in the book, is it this one or is it one? The next bit down after the first start. So you kind of do Hish first all the time, and then when you start next time, it tells you can go to one of the others. You can go to Shaman, or you can go to a Squishy, or any of the other 7 realms of magic. Shish as well. Shish kebab. And then obviously you have different cards because they've got different symbols on. So we're going to play a bit more of this. But if you want to see us video it, put it in the comments. Other than that, please like and subscribe. It helps out loads if you do that. And hopefully we'll see you again soon, guys.
See you soon.
Take care.
Bye.